Welcome everybody, it's Solomon. In this video we are going to be talking about 5 new storyline questions that just recently popped up in the storyline, whether it be through Zombies Chronicles or the timeline, and these are just questions that don't really have a proper theories, and that's the main reason I want to talk about them, is because these 5 questions have been ones that have really been bothering me recently. And of course I'm sure there's bigger questions and more important questions that need to be answered than these, but these ones I just see no one talking about them except one, and there's a reason why I kept inside this video. I'll kind of explain when we get to it, but the rest are just like nobody's really talking about these, and I haven't seen any proper theories to explain it, and I'm not even sure if anybody's actually trying. So the main goal of this video is just to get people to talk about these. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's actually get into these. And of course these aren't in a particular order, just the order I wrote them down, and I'm reading them from the bottom to top, so I don't know why I mentioned that. But anyways, getting into this video, so the first one I want to talk about is the disappearance of the 935 in the 935 logo. And I'm not too sure if you guys have noticed this yet, because this has been happening ever since Black Ops 3 started. Inside the Reisedrache, the giant Garad Trophy, the 935 logo has been there, but most of them, I know there are some exceptions that the 935 is still there, but most of them, there's no 935 written in them. And this was weird enough, and I'm all like, well, maybe it's just a fracture, it's just a different universe, and I guess they don't want to add the 935 to it. But now inside the remasters, where these exact same things of the logos all had the 935 in them, and now they're actually gone, are you saying that something's changing even in the remastered one? It kind of makes me think if these aren't the same universes, maybe these are just part of the fractures or something like that, because the only place we've seen the lack of the 935 logos has been the fractures, and I've been somebody to say that these remastered maps aren't supposed to be in the fractures or some other universe. They had to be inside the original timeline or Dementia 63. But now after seeing this, I'm just so confused, because you could simply explain this through bleeding universes. This seems very weird and not something that would really affect my bleeding universes. I just don't understand it, why they're actually taking out 935 from the 935 logo. It's just so weird, and I don't know why. It's been bothering me ever since Black Ops 3 has started, but now in Zombies Chronicles and remasters with it missing, it's just like I had to say something about it. I just had to. But anyways, the next one I want to talk about is the 2 great battles, and maybe the 2 great battles isn't exactly the right way to say this, but if you guys have actually seen the timeline for the Zombies storyline, we actually see there's 2 great battles, and there was one for the original timeline and there was one for Dementia 63, and that in itself isn't where the problem is. The problem is what happens after Revelations, because if you guys have looked at this timeline before, you could actually see how the characters travel between universes and time and all that stuff, and they mark it down and everything. And normally what happens, you have your character going from one spot to the other part, and then they keep going through different places, just marking down different areas in time. But this one is really weird, because our premise crew is actually teleported at the same time to both great battles. It is just so weird. Why would this be the case? I just don't understand how our characters split off at the same time, because you could just say that maybe they went to one great battle than the other, but we don't see really any connection to that, because we just see our characters just splitting off to the other 2 and just stopping there. That's where their journey ends. It ends in 2 different spots. So did our characters double? What exactly happened there? I don't know exactly what they're going for here. Do we have 2 premise groups now? But anyways, this next one is actually pretty weird, and it has to do with actually a 5th universe that isn't really on the timeline, but it's just mentioned, and it's actually from the Shadows of Evil marking thing, or whatever it says. It kind of sums up Shadows of Evil, and let me just read you guys off one part of it, because it is pretty big. I don't want to read through the whole thing and get you lost in some other thing that says in there, so let me just read off the important part. So what it says is April 25th 1944, Shadows of Evil, and of course inside Dimension 63. They trap him in the summoning key, talking about the Shadow Man, but before they get handed over to the Keeper, Primus Richtofen arrives and steals the key. Richtofen travels to Dimension 2210 to secure innocent Richtofen's soul. He delivers the soul to the house. Now this is okay, Richtofen needs innocent Richtofen's soul for the kid Richtofen and all that stuff, but the thing is that he didn't go to one of the known universes. He went to some Dimension 2210. What is that? What is Dimension 2210? We have no information about this timeline. It's just something that was slightly mentioned, just really weird. We have no idea what this is. This is the biggest question out of all of them, and I really don't think we could really expand on this anymore, but it's just something that I just don't know right now. I'm just so confused with Dimension 2210. I don't know why they added it in without doing any more explanations. Maybe they'll do some in the future, but it's just weird to see them add in random universes, and it kind of scares me, because I don't know how many more hidden universes we're going to be dealing with in the future. I was kind of hoping we would just be dealing with the 4 that we got inside the timeline, but it looks like we're going to be dealing with more. But I guess we could make room for one more, but I hope that's all we're going to be doing. And this next one I want to talk about is actually the destroyed Samantha Samantha's room, and of course it's inside Kino. But this thing is just so weird because this room, of course, is from the house in Argartha. It's just so weird. Why is it destroyed? What exactly happened here? Isn't the house supposed to be the only safe place left in the entire universes or multiverse? That's the right way to say it. I thought this was supposed to be the safe place and everything. How did it get destroyed? And I don't want to talk about too much of this because there's actually a really cool video from Johnny J25. I'm sure you guys know who he is, but he came up with this really cool theory, or I don't know, actually he might have got it off this COD Zombies subreddit, but it's a really cool theory talking about the destroyed house, and I really highly recommend you guys watch it because I haven't had a theory that really blew me away like this in a while inside the zombie storyline. Even my theories haven't blown me away this much, but it's really cool, and I just love the video so much that I just want to share it with you guys. So if you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend you guys do. But anyways, the last one I want to get to, and this one I think is the coolest one, and it has to do with a Kino teleporter. And you have to think about this Kino teleporter. It is super weird. It just doesn't make any sense. So the Kino teleporter, it teleported us to the house. That is insane because you have to remember Kino is happening inside the original timeline. Even if these remakes aren't inside the original timeline, there's still a different universe from where the house is, because the house is inside Argartha, and Argartha is just such a weird universe compared to all of them because there's no concept of time that we're aware of inside Argartha. So it's just a really weird place, and we're not aware of how this actually happened. How did the Kino teleporter send us to Argartha? That makes no sense at all how it would do that. And even weirder is that it actually teleports us to a destroyed Samantha's room. So is the destroyed Samantha's room maybe the future of the house? What's going to happen for the future of the house? So if that's true, then the Kino teleporter teleported us to the future of the house? Like, wait, how? What is exactly happening here? Let's calm down. I just have no idea. And that's not it, because this is the only teleporter we've ever used to actually get into the house that we're aware of. We may have used one other one that we saw inside the intro to Revelations, but that may be something else. We're not entirely sure, but we do know that we use this exact same teleporter inside Revelations to get to the house. This was the same one that we used inside Revelations during the Easter egg. It was the only one we could use. So it's just weird to see that this is the only teleporter we ever used to get inside the house. I just don't know why this teleporter is important. It just seems like it is, and I hope we get an explanation for it. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Tell me what you guys think about all these. You guys have any ideas or theories about any of these? I would love to hear them if they're down in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for content similar to this, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I will catch you guys on my next video.